Right, can you talk about what Aaron Baines brings to the team?
Well, I said yesterday, he's been a great leader. He's been an anchor defensively. Whenever we've needed him to step up offensively, he's done that. The threes that he hit in the Philly series were huge because it's faced Embiid. In our last regular season game, we didn't play a bunch of guys, and he had 28 points in 25 minutes. He's a really good player, and he's really tough and very team-oriented.
How much does it help that he's won a title and he's been through this? Maybe he didn't play a lot, but he's been through it.
You'd have to ask him that question. That's a good question. But it is like, sometimes because he was in Detroit last year, we don't always talk about it, the stop before the stop. But I was just talking to him out on the court just now about, having played against LeBron in that finals at 14. Any experience that those guys can bring for all of us is beneficial.
What kind of things did you see after watching the film that you guys can do better in game two?
Well, I thought we were, they missed some shots that they'll hit normally. We had a few rotations where we were a little bit indecisive on, and we've got to clean those up. We've got to be more decisive. We've got to be better. And then offensively, we just can't have lulls like we did into the third quarter. But they make it tough. I mean, they're a good team. Playing at a very elite level, it's hard to play well for 40 minutes.
LeBron is such a thinker, studies the game. What do you think he's thinking? I mean, what kind of adjustments do you think he's making for this effort?
Well, I think anytime that you have a great player, they're going to watch it close and figure out what they can try to do better and everything else. And nobody's been better at making those adjustments over the course of time than him. He's tremendously talented, but as you said, tremendously bright as well. And so he'll be aggressive. I mean, that's part of it. That's the great challenge of having to play against a team like this and a player like him.
Coach, you guys have so much versatility on this roster. It seems like everybody can guard multiple positions. How much of that is a function of what Danny wants, and how much of it is you going to Danny and saying this is what we want?
I would say it's a collaboration amongst everybody, but Danny's the one that chooses the players, and he's hit absolute home runs.
Everybody make it through last night, feeling pretty good. Practice today.
Everybody was able to go through, so that was really encouraging. Yeah, a couple guys didn't play as many minutes, and we're going to need all the energy we can get for tomorrow night.
There's been some talk out of Cleveland that they might already be looking to make an adjustment with the lineup. Do you go more for what has worked so far, or will you try to match that right off the bat?
Well, I think anytime you're playing Cleveland, you've got to, first and foremost, it's about LeBron and then about the shooters and the players around him. And so whoever they put on the floor, we're going to have to help appropriately depending on who's on the floor, and we're going to have to guard him as hard as we can, which is easier said than done. I mean, I'm guessing he'll be a part of that lineup. So, our focus and emphases will remain the same.
I know there was talks about how LeBron will come up, but how much do you relish, not relish maybe the challenge of, hey, everyone in the world knows that he's going to come out wanting to play better than he did in game one?
I mean, every great player is like that. We've got a number of guys that are excited to improve upon their performance as well. And we all can get a little bit better at what we can control. We know that tomorrow, as I said yesterday, will be a heavyweight punch. We've got to be locked in to play well on both ends of the court. But this is, if you don't enjoy the challenge, you don't get up for the challenge, you don't look forward to the challenge, then, to me, that's a big part of all this. That's the fun part of all this.
Are you surprised how effectively you took LeBron out of the game yesterday? Point line.
I mean, he almost had a triple-double, so he was pretty darn good. Just missed a few shots. I mean, at the end of the day, he's an unbelievable player who can get others involved and get himself involved. He's special. Again, you're only going to be able to do so much against him. We try to do it with as many bodies as possible, and then we've got to guard the other guys. That's the thing. Like Love and Korver and Smith, and Thompson's rebounds and everything else. Good. We've got to be much better making sure we're there on all their catches.
Coach, you're talking to Aaron. He said during the game yesterday, you made a change defensively, and LeBron made a change right away offensively. Can you call that happening? Maybe it was something you saw but didn't say.
Yeah.
But he knows what's going on out there all the time.
No, Aaron Baines said that?
Yes.
Yep, that happened.
Coach, as the playoffs continue, you guys continue to win, a lot of people talk about you as if you're some sort of magician and whatnot. How do you handle that when sometimes it seems like you're getting more credit than the players?
Yeah,
How do you handle that with the team?
It's silly. You know, the praise is uncomfortable, and it's just something that these guys should be getting it all, and we all have a role to play, and we all need to play that role as well as we can.
Well, if he makes some mistakes, we'll criticize him.
Go for it. That'd be great. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.